All right, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Maths Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. Okay, so in the previous video, I just introduced one of the basics of functions where I tried to define what function was, and I was trying to tell you a function, a single value of x must give you a single value of y, right? Now, I want to show you now how to determine a function. Today, I'm going to use the vertical line test method, all right? In the vertical line test method here, a vertical line test is used to determine whether a curve is a function or not. So we're going to use a vertical line. So when we talk about a vertical line, basically it's just about, let me see, just drawing, this is what we call vertical. So it's just drawing a line, all right? Or you can make it a solid line or you can make it a broken line, does not matter. So basically it's just drawing a line through the function. I'll show you how to do it. So if you draw a line, a vertical line, and it cuts more than 1 point, then the curve is not a function. But if you draw a line and it only cuts at 1 point, then that curve is a function. Is that okay? So let me see if I can give an example so that to make it more easy. So let's say we have y is equal to, let's say 2x plus 2, okay? All right, y is equal to 2x plus 2. And I'm asked, the question is this a function? All right. So what will you do? The first thing, you draw the graph. So for this, we can get the y-intercept and the x-intercept, okay? So as y-intercept, x will be equal to 0, right? So that means y is going to be equal to 2, 0 plus 2, and that will give you y will be equal to what? 2. So when x is 0, y is 2. I'm going to have a video on drawing of graphs, okay? So please, you can go back to the videos and check the collections. You will see a part of the video that I'll be drawing on graphs, so you can have a look and make sure you're up to date. So that's why you need to subscribe so that when I upload new videos, you will get notified about them. So also we can get the x-intercept. So the x-intercept is when y is equal to 0, and so it's going to be 0 is equal to 2x plus 2. You take that, so it's going to be minus 2 is equal to 2x. So that means x is going to be equal to minus 1. Let me put it this way so it will be easy. So that means I now divide both sides by what? 2. So therefore, x is going to be equal to minus 1. Is this making sense? So now I can now draw the graph. So from the graph now, I know my x-intercept. So x-intercept means where it crosses the x-axis. It's going to cross the x-axis at what? 2. And where it's going to cross, the x-intercept is where it's going to cross the x-axis, and the y-intercept is where it's going to cross the y-axis. So the y-intercept is going to be 2, and the x-intercept is going to be what? Minus 1. So we have, this is going to be the graph for this. Now, how are we going to be sure is this a function? What you do is very simple. Remember I said for a vertical line test, to determine whether a particular curve is a function, you have to just draw a vertical line. And if it cuts more than 1 point, it's not a function. And if it cuts at just 1 point, it's a function. So let's say, randomly, I'm going to use this point here. You see, it only cuts at this point in the vertical line. So that means this is a function. Let's try another different point. So you see that regardless of where you decide to draw your line, you will see that the line will only cut the curve at 1 point. And therefore, this is a function. So therefore, we can now say y is equal to 2x plus 2 must be a what? It's a function. Okay? And that is it. Now, let's take it a step further now. Okay? Let's say we have something like y is equal to x raised to the power half. Okay? One of the classical examples, y is equal to x raised to the power half. And you know, x raised to the power half is the same thing as saying square root of x. And for those that have done the quadratic equation, and I'm going to upload a video on quadratic as well, you will know that the answer for this is going to be, when you have square root, it means plus or minus. Does that make sense? Plus or minus. And when you draw a graph for x, so it's going to look like this. You have something like this. Then for square root of x, the graph look like this. Okay, part of my sketch. All right. So this is a graph that y is equal to plus or minus square root of x. And just for you to know, when you put your calculator or you're solving the calculator, the calculator only gives you the positive value for the square root. So, and if you want to draw that, it will give you, that means your graph is going to look something like this, but that is not correct because for square root of x is plus or minus, okay? So I'm not going to bore you with this. I'm going to have a separate video for that, okay? So back to this. So the first thing, we've drawn the graph. And when we've drawn the graph, so we have it to be like this. Now to check if this equation is a function, what do I have to do? I have to draw what? A vertical line. And if it meets at just one point, it's a function. And if it meets more than one point, it's not a function, right? Okay. So let us try this now. So I'm going to draw the line here. Oh, interesting. It just meets at one point. Okay. So let us try another different point. I'm trying it here. Whoa, you can see from here, it's meeting at this point as well as what? This point. So although at this point, it only meets at one point, but because at another point in the curve, it meets at two different points. So that means this is not a function. So that means we can now say, therefore, y is equal to x raised to the power half is not a function. Okay, so just to remind us, so generally we usually say one of the classical non-function is square root of x. So in case you see it in any objective or any form of questions, it's one of the classical examples that square root of x is not a function. Okay, it's one of the classical examples that you'll meet sometime. All right. So that is that for that with the vertical line test. Okay, I'm going to solve more examples in the next video so that I will not bore you with so many things. All right. So the first thing, how do you know it's a function? Or is it the vertical line test method? Here, a vertical line is used to determine whether a curve is a function or not. So what do? You just draw a line through the curve at different points. At all the time points or all the points you draw the line over the curve, it must only cut the curve at just one point. If it cuts the curve at more than one, it's not a function. But if it cuts the curve at just one point, then it's a function. Now, if you look at this example I had here, with the y is equal to 2x plus 2, okay? You see that it only cuts at just one point. That's why it's called a function. But when we had y is equal to square root of x, when we draw the graph, you can see it cuts the point at more than one point. So therefore, it's not a function. Okay, that'll be that for that. So the next video, I'm going to just we'll solve more examples. I'm going to bring more quadratic equations and see how we can see if it's a function or not. Okay. All right. Okay. See you soon. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any question, feel free to put it in the comment section. Okay. Thank you very much.